Okay.
I don't know that you'll hear. Well, maybe you'll hear me. You talk for a second.
Alrighty, I'm talking. It's Sunday. We're having a show. Hey, we are having a show. Oh, we just went live.
Yep.
Whee. Alright, unmute. I can hear you.
Okay.
I can hear me.
That's good.
Yeah,
Did you hear the music?
Yes,
Probably drowning us out a little bit.
a little bit, but you know, I'm used to that. Such a dork. Me, I'm a dork. I can hear myself, so such a dork. Alright, send out a tweet.
I suppose we could start.
Oh, we could.
It is 1 o'clock.
Yeah.
All right.
You mean 3 o'clock?
West Coast, West Coast.
Yeah, already.
All right. Let's do this.
Alrighty. And do that and jump around a little bit. Anyway. Gotcha. Nope. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Yep, there's Laura Keys here. Yeah. Cute. We have before.
I know. Well, for whatever, maybe it will pick up. I don't know. We'll see. Here we go.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Y'all are listening to the Overseas Connection podcast.
Shut up and sit down.
Here we go!
Would you kindly?
I think we're just getting started.
Medic! I'm a witcher.
I think this is more than you can handle.
Sits on his ass all day.
Let's do this.
Well, hey, everybody. Thanks for tuning in to episode 758. Today's November 12th, 2023. We are fresh off of our surviving of Extra Life last week. Yeah, it's just two of us today. We've got Kim Woods in the house. Kim, hello.
Howdy, howdy.
Howdy, howdy. My name is Greg DeLisi, gamertag Murphy's Law, OC_Murphy's Law on Twitter. And it is Bongo's agreed upon day off, so he is off diddling with ChatGPT. There is speculation that Pete is getting near finishing of his boat, but not on the podcast because he is also diddling with his boat. Yeah. Also, rumors, Mark Wright, sightings of Mark Wright. Who knows? Maybe, just maybe, in the future, when Robin is off diddling with ChatGPT, Mark just might come in. Yeah. Craziness.
Hey.
Anyway, hey, we're a video game podcast. We like to talk about video games. So if you're new to the podcast, just know We talk about games. We also talk about life. That is just, I mean, it's a community podcast. We talk about all kinds of things centralized around video games. We are on every Sunday, 9 p.m. in the UK, 1 p.m. in the West Coast, 4 p.m. in the East Coast, 3 p.m. in the lowly Central Time Zone. Except for last week when we do Extra Life. Whenever we do Extra Life, we take that time off. It's tiring. Yeah.
It is.
But we'll talk about that in a moment because, ironically, I don't think it was as tiring as we anticipated. Anyway, hey, look, if you are in the chat like Lord, welcome. Come hang out.
And Boomer.
And Boomer. Can't forget Boomer. Everyone forgets Boomer, but we can't forget Boomer. Anyway, be part of the chat. Be, the part of the Cool Kids Club or the Old Fogies Club, however you want to look at it. You can come out, hang out. Like I said, we are on Twitch. We are on YouTube. So come in, hang out, be part of the community. Yeah. Did we cover Pete's birthday before?
I believe so.
I think so.
I don't know. I was thinking the same thing when I saw the show notes. I'm
Looking at
thinking to myself, did I wish Pete a happy birthday?
We wished
sure
Pete
I did.
a happy birthday, but did we actually authentically wish him a happy birthday? I think we did. If we didn't,
sure we did.
He's ginger, so
He'll forgive us.
Abused. Yeah. Anyway, all right. Let's get into some story time.
All right.
Everyone here loves story time, our favorite time of the day.
Kim, there's a lot going on in the world.
Oh, there is.
And locally. It's crazy. It's insanity is breaking out at Shea DeLacy, but we'll start on your side of the universe.
Alrighty.
What's going on with you?
Well, it is sort of the first of the month sort of thing.
It's
so,
not really the first of the month anymore. Kim.
Well,
this
yeah,
is
I know, but
truly
we had
mid-month. We're breaking protocol.
Well, we had Extra Life and
Bongo
we had
should
enough
have covered
going on.
this in the wee hours of the morning.
I know, right? When everybody was asleep. So anyway, we'll get this out of the way real quick. It's your latest editions of Pussy and Pecs, and we have. Well, I'm not really sure how you pronounce it, so we're just gonna go with Ricky, and I'm assuming Dance. So, Dancy, Dance. Fuck, I don't know. But anyway, we got a dude and a cat. So there you go.
Yeah, I'm assuming Dance. It's got to be Dance, but he spells it stupid. So Ricky is kind of dumb. Stupid firefighter. That's just my take on this.
We're not going for Ricky for his brains. I mean, what?
Yeah.
So anyway, there you go. There's your latest edition there. We'll get that out of the way.
Thank God.
So anyway,
when you don't have the calendar update, it's like life is just incomplete.
Well, don't want you to miss it. It'd be terrible.
It'd be horrific.
Right. Exactly. Anyway, on to other things. Extra Life I just had was last weekend, and like you said, it was difficult because it's always hard to stay up for 24 hours when you're elderly, but it wasn't bad. Although I will admit, for the sake of admitting, plus if I don't, Tony might call me out later. But like about 12:30, 1 o'clock, I did catch like a 20-minute cat nap in my chair.
What?
So, I did.
What?
I know. I know.
I'll go out back an extra 20 minutes doing Extra Life then.
I kind of did because I stayed up watching you. Till about 4 o'clock.
All
so
right.
I at least did that, because it's funny.
So what games did you end up playing during Extra Life? What was your kind of go-to?
All right. Well, we started out. There's a game on Game Pass called A Short Hike. It's about a bird who goes and spends part of her summer vacation at her aunt's national park. Well, her aunt is a park ranger and she works at this park. And you go around doing like park things. And the big thing is you've got to climb the top of this mountain. So I played a lot of that, especially starting out because, I was the only one up. So I did that.
I'm throwing that up on screen real quickly. So it's a side-scrolling kind of. What game does this remind me of? It's certainly not Modern Warfare.
No, definitely not.
I'm trying to remember that there was it was a choose your own kind of adventure, but it was a lot of dialogue choices.
Right.
It was like Goonies almost. Do you know?
Right.
God, for the life of me, I cannot think of the name of the game. Anyway,
right.
It had some of that vibes for a moment.
Right. So I played that, and it's actually a really cool game. Like I said, it's on Extra Life. It's on Game Pass, so if you've got Game Pass, you can try it. It's supposed to be like 4 or 5 hours. It doesn't take very long to complete. I've not actually completed it yet because I'm trying to get all the achievements because they're like stupid easy. So Yeah.
Okay, now I gotta ask questions because now that I'm seeing the game actually in action, it reminds me nothing of the other game I was talking about.
Uh-huh.
So that's perfectly fine.
Right.
What are they?
They're birds.
They are birds.
Well, she's a bird. There's some other things. There's like a dog, I think, is one, and so there's a few different critters in the mix there. But she is a bird. So
Okay.
I'm not sure what breed of bird. I didn't ask, but anyway.
Well, is she the one with the hat, or is she the like the Black Crow?
Uh, well, I don't know. I don't see it on screen, so I can tell you because you can get her a hat, so that might be her. But she is
Okay.
black. So
All right.
there you go. So I played that for a long while there until, well, basically until Boomer showed up, and then I played a lot of Modern Warfare 2. So much Modern Warfare 2, and until eventually, believe it or not, even Tony got aggravated. So you could just tell it in his voice. He was done with Modern Warfare. He didn't want anything more to do with it. So then we switched, and believe it or not, this should make you happy. We played Halo.
Yeah. So Halo, that caught me a little bit off guard.
Right.
Wasn't anticipating you playing Halo.
I know we weren't either, but it's on Game Pass. It's something multiplayer that we could all play, and that was kind of my thing going into all this. If it was on Game Pass and we could all play it, then I was good with it. And
Now,
I was actually
not gonna lie, disappointed there was not an outreach to me saying, "Hey."
I was going to, but I know you and what was it, Lewis and some others were on there playing, so I didn't know if you all were still playing too. So I didn't, want to break up the band, so to speak. So I didn't.
I see how it is.
Um,
I see how it is.
I know. But
You're
that being said,
Tannerous.
we had you guys, fuck, you guys play better than I do. What are you talking about? Hell, you'd have brought our team up. But that being said, we played a lot of and this is the only reason I know this because I hear you talk about it. We played a lot of Fiesta,
Yes.
and believe it or not, we weren't bad. I tell you what, get my hands on a gravity hammer and I'll just go to town. So I couldn't shoot for shit with anything else, but you give me the gravity hammer and then I could clear the field. So.
Okay.
But yeah, and believe it or not, it was fun. We kind of all three decided that maybe we needed to put Halo back in the rotation. So
It's
Yeah.
really solid. They have done some
Right.
great updates to it. Yeah, I
Yeah.
I have nothing but positive things about to say about Halo. Yes, we also played Halo during the Extra Life event. So, yeah, Halo. Good for you.
Yeah. So maybe you'll have another one. He'll jump in during our Halo Wednesdays or something, or maybe we'll play Halo on Friday or something. So yeah, Halo was fun. And after that, well, Boomer got off because it was, I think, midnight or close to midnight where he was at. And so me and Tony switched back to a short, because Tony was playing it in the living room and I was playing it in here. So we switched back to a short hike and we'd be yelling back and forth at each other. Hey, I found a feather over here, or hey, I found this over here, yada, yada. And that's pretty much how I spent my night, I think. I think finally I had like an hour left. And so I just got tired of staring at the TV screen. So I shut that off and I pulled up Microsoft Solitaire on my phone and I finished that off for the last hour of Extra Life. Because,
Okay.
why not? And then, I know you were still on. So then I flipped it over to Twitch and I don't know, like I said, I watched you for a while with whiny Kurt Russell. And I was really hoping that, you were going to shoot him at some point or another.
Oh God. Yeah.
I don't know how you put up with that guy without shooting him, because I swear to God, I only, didn't have to watch him for very long, and an hour, and I was ready to shoot him. So,
Yeah. For those that don't know, so we'll just cover our Extra Life trials and tribulations. So,
right.
I was playing Starfield and I came across this. There's a side quest mission that basically you're in a sense trying to infiltrate the Crimson Fleet. So you're trying to pose as a pirate, and I get paired up with this guy who's just he's a bit of a jackass. But on top of it, I'm trying to play it coy where I'm not, because I don't want to go with his plan. I
Right.
kind of want to get my goal was to get him in trouble. I wanted to get him killed, but I wanted to do it in a sneaky way of like basically kind of getting him revealed to the boss guy from the Crimson Fleet, and I figured he would kill him. Sadly, my skills at figuring out when I should pull the trigger on telling the truth about this guy was trying to plot and an overthrow plan just didn't go well. and eventually I basically, not only did I not get this guy killed, I actually helped him secure his position in the Crimson Fleet, and better his position in the Crimson Fleet. So it was a complete fail on my part, but
Way to go.
it was fun. Very much enjoys Starfield. Did you play any of the campaign in Modern Warfare?
I have not. And the new one or the other two?
In the new one, Modern Warfare 3.
I have not yet, but I'm planning on it because they say there are things that you can unlock in it that will carry over to multiplayer.
Yes,
So
it definitely is that. I started Extra Life playing Modern Warfare 3. I have the kind of opening moments of the game on screen right now. I played this all the way through to completion. I think I finished up the game somewhere around 12:30, 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So
Right.
it took me a good 7 hours ish to complete. There were a couple times where there are some fail state missions, which I wasn't crazy about, where it's kind of like you do the one thing wrong, or in particular, there's a I'll just say, I'm not going to spoil anything, but just know
Right.
that there's times where you have to do things very specific to what the game wants you to do, and if you don't do it that way, kind of like some stealth missions in games, you'll get failed, and so you have to restart. There's
Right.
one in particular sequence I must have failed at like 20 times, and it was just infuriating at the latter part of it. I'm like, really? Are you freaking kidding me? But I finally got through it. Got into the rest of the campaign. I enjoyed my time with the campaign. I know there's been a lot of heat being thrown at this campaign. I feel like it's a bit unjustified. People are like, oh, it's
Right.
short. Well, modern Call of Duty campaigns have always been short.
Right.
So what is the real complaint? Is it because Microsoft owns Activision now that everybody's going to shit on it? Maybe.
Yeah.
This is a bridge campaign. So just know that this is, bridging Modern Warfare 2 and Modern Warfare 4. And it kind of is giving you some context of things that transpired. It's a solid game. So I did
Well,
not
and what
play-
was it? They come out and they said that they only had like 16 months or something to work on it. So
Yeah, and I always question whether that's reality or not.
Right.
How much is the truth of that is. But I mean, the game looks fantastic. It plays great. It's Call of Duty. So if you
Right.
enjoy Call of Duty games, you're going to enjoy this game. So yeah, I had no problems with the campaign itself. I mean, is it Game of the Year material? No. Is it
Right.
Call of Duty, quality? Yeah, it is. So, and I was more than happy to, I ended up paying, doing the pre-order just so I could play the campaign during Extra Life.
Right.
And it suited me perfectly fine. So I was all kinds of happy with that. So anyway,
there you go. That's the important thing.
that's what I say.
I mean, it's funny because you enjoyed it. A lot of the people I follow on Twitter, at least gaming friends, they seem to enjoy it. It just seems like it's the reviewers that kind of threw it
Oh,
under
yeah.
the bus, and we're just
Yeah.
like, yeah, it sucks. It's not worth your time, Dad. It's short, Well, I'm sorry, it's COD. I don't really need a 24-hour or 2,000-hour campaign for COD.
Right. And people are like, oh, the multiplayer. The latest complaint was, well, the multiplayer is sadly an evolution of Modern Warfare 2's multiplayer.
Right.
Were you expecting something different?
Right.
I'm actually very much looking forward to Zombies. I have yet to play that, so that's where I think I'm going to sink a lot of time in on this game.
Right.
Anyway, all right. What are we doing, Kim? What are we doing?
I can list off my donator people that have donated.
Yeah, why don't you do that? That's a good use
Alrighty.
of time.
Yeah,
I like that.
I might as
idea.
well do that. I mean, that way they know that, I'm just using them for their money and going to forget them forever. Of course. No particular order, but I'm pretty sure this is the people that donated to me and when. But whatever. We have Bennett Seacrest, Claire Mucho, my brother, Tough, donated. Believe it or not, I was shocked. Because normally he doesn't donate. I don't know that he's ever donated. I think this is the first time. So I was
Maybe
pleasantly
because he
surprised.
was it your brother or your brother-in-law that you wanted to punch in the face?
Oh, that was my ex-brother-in-law. Yeah,
okay.
Tony's dad. Yep. So, Hardly Dan, thank you, Dan. My boss slash friend Brian, my dad, of course, because I control the checkbook, so he didn't really have a choice. So, my sister Emily, and of course Tony and Owen, they donated. Sarah, RCGC donated. Louis Ramundo, he also donated, and of course yourself, Greggles. Thank you very much. So, thank y'all. You put me over my goal this year. I'm tickled pink.
Now,
So,
what, if I may ask, what did you hit?
I hit 360.
Nice.
So
Okay.
yeah,
360,
I had a goal of 300 and I went over that, so I'm okay with that. No,
you have to be okay with that.
right?
So, yeah, it's funny because I think people, when they first do Extra Life, they're like, "Oh, it'll be easy."
Yeah.
It's not. I'm twofold. It's not easy to play games for 24 hours because literally towards the end of it, you hate games. But
Right.
also, getting people to donate to your cause it takes some effort. And I think a lot of people, they first just think, "Oh, I'll sign up and it'll just naturally happen." Not the case at all.
Nope.
You do have to do some promotion. You have to kind of get it out there. I'm pretty lucky. I've been doing this for as long as I have been. So I have this kind of list of people now that I can fall back on and
Right.
kind of grow that. But I will also do a quick readout just to get that out there. Again, want to make sure people know they're seen, they're heard,
Right.
they're loved.
We do appreciate
Kim,
it.
thank you. You also donated to my page.
You're welcome.
Armando also donated to my page. Snoogans, despite everything he says, was a generous chap and he donated. My brother-in-law and my sister, Mike and Cherie, donated. Tom Nivison, Hardly Dan, Uncle John, that I didn't see before, I just saw it now. Marilyn, an anonymous donor, Michelle Leah, Wendy Matsuda, Amy and Brad Sutton, a Facebook donor of, this is the interesting one, Facebook donors. They're just, if you put your thing up on Facebook, they don't tell you who it was. It's just a Facebook donor. So
you have to go back to your fundraiser to find that out, I think.
Yeah, probably.
So, yep.
But yeah, so I had a number of Facebook donors: Tim Campbell, Sally Stevens, the Cleva family, Chris Brennan, Elizabeth, Frank Giel, Troy, PS5 Jenkins, Facebook donor, and of course my family. We also donated to the charity this year. But we came in. We actually did far better than I thought we were for a while. We actually raised $1,825. So
nice.
I am and 57 cents, and that comes from Robin, which I think he came in. He's the anonymous donor. His donation amount ended in 57 cents, and I was like, "Who the hell donates 57 cents?" Well, it was because he was trying to cover the cost fee, but also he donated in British pound sterling, which then gets basically, what's the right word I'm looking for? Not transposed.
Converted.
Converted. Thank you. And so, it was just a very odd, random amount. And when in the moment I saw that amount, I knew it was Robin. I was just like, "Yeah, Robin, you donated, didn't you?" He's like, "Yeah, how'd you know?" I'm like, "This is a weird, funky amount." Anyway,
right.
So yeah,
I think Robin donated to mine too, and I might have missed it. So,
well,
anyway,
I
thanks,
think
Robin.
He also was coming in as from Facebook.
Might have been.
Yeah.
So anyway, if I left you off the list, sorry, Robin, but thank you, Robin, because I'm pretty sure you did donate to me and somehow I missed it. But anyway, yeah, poor Sarah was the same way because she donated for Canadian, and so of course the conversion rate's funky. So she was like it was like 5 cents away from my goal, but yet Extra Life counted it anyway. So she was all like apologetic. "I'm sorry, you missed your goal." I'm like, "No, it'll be fine. It's fine. It works for me. It's okay." So.
All right. So, so we survived Extra Life. I was surprised mostly that I struggled right around 1 a.m.
Right.
That was a
same here
time.
Apparently.
And then I caught a second wind and I just powered through. And that was when I was playing Starfield.
Right.
5 o'clock hit. And I was just like, okay, let me just kind of close up. Well, it was like 4 o'clock. It was technically 4 o'clock because that was my 24 hours. But so I'm like kind of closing everything down. And it was about 5 a.m. I go to bed. I woke up at 8:30 in the morning and I never went back to sleep.
Right.
I was just like, okay, let's go. What are we doing? So yeah. And I didn't really. It was not a struggle this year. I thought it was going to be tough. In fact, when I first started up Extra Life,
Mhm.
probably within like the first 3 hours, I was like, "Ooh, this might be a rough one."
Right.
I was already feeling it. But you know what? Multiplayer, playing with people, that I think is one of the big keys to any Extra Life event, especially
Yeah.
like midway through. If you can get a good
Right.
multiplayer gaming session going with other Extra Lifers or friends, whatever, it just flies by.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that's it. Yeah, I started feeling it. I don't know, was it that afternoon? But then I'd already been up since 3 o'clock in the morning. So about the 12-hour mark or so, I was starting to get a little wonky, and not counting my like 20-minute cat nap around, right. I don't know. I was sitting there playing the game, and then all of a sudden, I don't know. I woke up, and then Anthony's like coming in. He's like, "Yeah, I caught you napping, but I wasn't gonna say anything."
Thanks,
I'm like,
kid.
I'm
Don't
looking
be
at
a
my
narc,
watch,
Anthony.
going,
Don't be a narc.
right. I'm looking at my watch, going, okay, it was only 20 minutes. I think I can be forgiven, as long as I stay up.
I was resting my eyes.
Right.
The game was still running.
The Xbox was still on, so technically, But yeah, I'm like you. I went to bed. I don't know. It was about 4 o'clock. Like I said, I stayed up for a little bit with you and watched you on Twitch. And then I think, like I said, about 4 o'clock, I think my phone started to droop, and I think it might have smacked me in the face once. And I'm like, all right, I guess I gotta go to sleep, right? And like you, I don't know, what was it about? I think I got up about 6:30, 7 o'clock, because that's when about time Dad was making breakfast and the coffee pot went off. I'm like, oh God. So I got 2.5 hours sleep that day, and I stayed up all day long, and I didn't go back to bed. I don't know. I think I might have eventually went back to bed at like 8:30 at night. So I went to bed a little early, but like you, I stayed up most of the day and everything. Yeah, it wasn't bad. It wasn't as hard as I thought it was going to be that next day, because I remember last year, I think I fell asleep on the couch, took a nap, and missed like part of the podcast, or I didn't make the podcast, or whatever the hell the deal was. So I don't know. It was good this year though. So
No, it was a good time had by all. Let's just say,
indeed.
yeah.
Oh, and thanks for staying up for as long as you did to help me, get through it, because like I said, he stayed up till at least midnight his time. So
Good lad.
him and Sarah and whoever else hopped in to help me get along. So, oh, and Anthony, I gotta shout out Anthony, because
Oh yeah, Anthony he deserves some props. He was
yeah,
there.
the little shit. He came out and spent the night with me. He didn't get up at 3 like I did. I let him sleep in because he's 10. But he got up at like 5, and he pretty much stayed the entire day until like about 1:30. Like I said, we were sitting here playing a short hike, and we were hollering back and forth at each other, and I hollered at him a couple times and no answer. And I'm like, I wonder. So I got up to come in, and he was on the couch. He'd had a blanket and he had his controller in his hand, but he was out. So I went over and I took the controller, and he woke up and he looked at me, and he didn't even fight me on it. He just rolled over and went back to sleep. And I looked at my clock, and it was like 1:30. I'm like, dude, for a 10-year-old boy, you did all right. So
All
yeah.
right. Well, what else has been going on, Kim?
Well, I got me a new accessory for my Razor's Edge. I've had this thing, well, pretty much since it came out.
Right.
And I saw on Amazon, of all places, you know how this thing is. It's basically just a tablet with a Razer Kishi, and it is a little wonky. It moves, and you don't necessarily want it to do that. So I found this thing. And
shell?
basically, yeah, it's basically a little shell that clips onto the back of it as I try to do this. And yeah, it just makes it more stable. It doesn't creak and flex and all that, so it just fits on the back of it like so.
Okay.
And it makes it more sturdy. So that's kind of nice. The only bad thing about this is it makes it slightly bigger. So when you go to put it in your case, it fits a lot tighter. And if you're not careful, it turns the power button on, and then it's on, and you run the battery down. And
all right.
But as long as you don't use there's a little flap that goes over the screen, and then it Velcros, and that holds it in. As long as you don't use that part, it fits in there pretty well. And as long as you're smart about it and you zip the thing closed before you start moving around, it shouldn't. I mean, it's pretty solid in there, so it shouldn't fall out. It shouldn't bang up or anything like that. So I don't know. I don't remember how much this was, $15 maybe. But for $15, and like I said, it keeps it from creaking and moving and whatnot. It does pretty well. I'm pretty tickled with it. So
all right.
Don't know if anybody else has got one of those, but if you do, like I said, $15 on Amazon. It works pretty well. The only thing is, then it makes it where it doesn't want to fit in your case real well. But whatever. I scroll back up to what else I have down. I don't know if I have anything else down. We did start Christmas shopping, so I've got that star. Oh yeah, my dad needed new socks. You know how it is. It's not Christmas unless somebody's getting new socks or new underwear or whatever. So I do the laundry around here, and I noticed, well, Dad needed new socks and new underwear. So guess what Dad's getting for Christmas? Well, actually, I'll get it before then because let's face it, he's probably gonna need it before then. So yeah, other than that, Christmas shopping and Thanksgiving preparation because next week I don't know if I'll be on or if we'll do one early or what.
Right.
But next Sunday I've got a Thanksgiving dinner, and then the next Sunday I have a Thanksgiving dinner. So I'm not sure I'll be on for the next 2 weekends. We'll have to figure something out. So
All right.
yeah. What about you?
Speaking of next weekend, it kind of actually ties in nicely because
Right.
I also am not going to be able to be on. So that's one of those things we're going to have to figure out if we're going to do an early show or if Robin's just going to do, a show on his end without
The Robin Show.
the Robin show. Maybe we might be able to get someone to pull in for it. But we are in the process of selling our house. So I made this
Wow.
announcement last weekend during Extra Life to Robin.
Right.
It all kind of came together very fast. We're in the process right now of kind of getting the house ready to stage it. And so that's actually one of the reasons why I'm trying to make this podcast fairly quick in some respects, because they're going to start power washing the front of the house right around 2:00. And so I'm keenly aware of that time because it will be right next to the window and it will be noisy. But yeah, so we're not moving terribly far away. We're kind of moving the next town over, but we had an opportunity to it's basically a brand new home build. It's over 800 square feet more, plus it's a 3-car garage versus a 2-car garage. So it's an upgrade all the way around. Also, brand new house. So
Right.
there's a lot you can do to kind of put your own thumbprint to it.
Right.
So, yeah, that's what's going on in my life right now. So
Well, cool. Because when you mentioned it, I thought maybe I'd missed something on a previous show. Like maybe I'd zoned out or something. I'm like, wait a minute.
No. Yeah, no. This happened basically 2 weeks ago to Monday.
Right.
So tomorrow it'll be 2 weeks. Cindy was out with her friend Mina, and they were looking at houses, and they came across this house, and it's like, "Hey, honey, what are you doing right now?" And I'm like,
Right.
"Nothing." Why don't you come down here? Bring the checkbook.
Guess what?
Yeah,
We're buying a house.
that's always but no, it's working out great. So we're just kind of getting everything ready. So you start to see I'm starting to thin down stuff behind me. We're gonna show, so it'll be an open house the weekend of the 18th and the 19th. That's why I won't be on, because literally the house will be open for open house.
Right.
So, but yeah.
Well, congratulations. I'm tickled for you.
Thank you. We're nervous and excited all in the same breath. It's a
Yep.
big thing.
I understand.
But we always kind of knew we were going to be moving, so I think we just hadn't thought we were going to move this soon, especially
Right.
interest rates, that kind of thing. But
Right.
the house opportunity, it just was something we couldn't pass up. So, in that respect, it's the perfect time.
Right.
Gosh, what else? Last night. Oh my God. Last night we went and saw Tim Allen.
Nice.
So I love Tim Allen, from Tool Time to, all the different shows he's done, Galaxy Quest, I didn't know what he was going to be like as a stand-up comic. I was a little nervous for it because I'm like, what if I don't like his stand-up comedy? That's just going to suck, because I always
Right.
liked him as an actor from TV and movies. Well, I'm happy to say he killed it. Oh my God. I was crying, laughing like throughout the show. Just funny. And I think what is awesome about his kind of comedy delivery, it's about the experiences of life.
hmm
And those to me are the funnier like comics, when they're talking just about real experiences of their life and kind of tying it in and making you kind of relate to it through your experiences. Also, things I didn't know. Tim Allen went to prison.
Yes.
I had
Drugs,
no
I
clue.
think.
Yeah.
Yep.
So he did 3 years in prison, and then that was the course changer for his life to then become a comic. Go figure. Anyway, so really fun, great show. Highly recommend it. You ever get a chance to see him, it is a good time. But,
Cool.
Okay. So that is it for
Right.
me. I think that is it for you. So we can
Yep.
talk some video games.
We can.
Today I feel like playing computer games. Today I feel like playing computer games.
You know, as I say this, we kind of have talked about all the video games that we played.
Pretty close. I have played some zombies, so
Yeah, so let's
did
talk
that.
to me, because I mean, for the most part, we've already really talked about everything that I played, but I'm curious, zombies and multiplayer for Modern Warfare. What are your thoughts?
Right.
What are your impressions?
Well, I haven't played the multiplayer, but we did fire up some zombies yesterday. It was me and Boomer. It's much like zombies from whenever the last one was. I can't remember which one
Okay.
it was, but the last one that had zombies in it, because I have that one. I just can't remember what the hell of it, the name of it is. But it's much like that. You go in there, they give you it's in, I don't like to say episodes, kind of. You know, you got to go in. They give you a certain list of stuff to do. You're supposed to go and do it, but you can also just run around and kill zombies, and they'll give you stuff to do that. The only thing is that was weird is when you play zombies, you know how you set your loadout.
Mm-hmm.
After a game of zombies, when either you die or you finish or whatever, when you come back, whatever gun you picked for your primary in that loadout, they give you a timer that you have to wait before you can use that gun again. So then you have to pick something from their, what's it they call it, their counterfeit group or something like that. And I guess once you lose, what was it? Something about that, once you lose it or whatever, it's gone. I'm assuming though eventually it comes back into rotation or whatever. So I'm not really keen on that because, you know, I come back, we got ready to play zombies again,
Right.
and the gun that I was using in my loadout I couldn't use. And I'm like, well, that's some
Is
horse
it kind
shit.
of forcing you to use different guns then?
I think so.
Okay.
Because they give you like an hour, was it like an hour timer? So you couldn't use the one gun you were using for like an hour. So I didn't like that. And I was kind of hoping like your skins would carry over and you could use them for zombies, because I thought how cool would it be to be Ash Williams and, you know, shooting zombies. But no, it doesn't work that way. They give you just your typical Call of Duty guy, and that's it. But all that aside, which, you know, it's nitpicky in a way, zombies is fun. We sat around, we blew the shit out of things. Boomer screwed up, and he's gonna yell at me for this one. But anyway, he took this assignment or whatever. Come to find out, you had to go and hunt down a mimic. I think we all remember mimics from the last one. Yeah, the mimic kicked both our asses, and on top of that, it brought zombie friends with it. So we lasted all of 5 minutes trying to kill this fucking mimic. So I come around the corner to try to help Boomer, and when I came around the corner, a bunch of zombies followed me, and then I ran right into a fucking mimic, and my shotgun just wasn't doing jack. So we both died. But it's
Okay.
fun. I mean, you know, you can set up on top of a like a silo and just sit there and pick off zombies. I had a rocket launcher for a while, and that was fun. But they do give you certain tasks that you need to do to move on and get to different parts of the game. But you can either do that or you're not. And there was some sort of zombie looking T-Rex looking thing, but we never did get close enough to actually see what the fuck it was. But I have a feeling that thing's going to be a pain in the ass. But the Hellhounds are back. All your usual zombies are back. The mimics are back. The mystery box. Everybody likes the mystery box. It was back. I didn't have enough essence to open it, but it was there. So zombies, it's a good time. The only thing is you can only play with 3 people. So that's a little disappointing. But I think the
Interesting.
last one you could only do 3 people.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's not real cool, because I mean, there's me, there's Boomer, there's Sarah, you know, there's Anthony. I mean, if you come along, so I mean, I have like a whole group of friends that might want to play this, but we can only play with 3 people.
Right.
So,
All right. Well,
you know,
limitations aside, it
True.
sounds. I mean,
it is fun.
I want to check it out.
The zombies still scare the shit out of me, and we've decided that there is ever a zombie apocalypse that I want to die like first. And somebody better make sure they put a bullet in my brain, because I don't want to come back as a zombie. So,
Okay.
because that shit's scary, I'll tell you what.
I don't
So-
know. Coming back is kind of a. I mean, you know, you get a little bit of revenge on people you don't like.
Yeah, with my luck, it wouldn't be people I'd like.
No.
I'd probably come back and, you know,
Fair.
I don't know. Never mind. I won't go there. Anyway, but zombies, it's fun. I don't know what multiplayer's like yet, but if it's anything like Modern Warfare 2, I'm sure we'll enjoy it as soon as I get this spawn spots fixed. Apparently, there's something wrong with those, but It's COD. It doesn't surprise me. There's
They
shenanigans
always have
everywhere.
spawning problems at first, and then they iron
Right.
it out. So
Yeah. So anyway, zombies. That's pretty much it.
okay,
So yeah,
zombies. That's it.
That's
Well,
it.
I mean, like I said, we've already covered pretty much everything else. So we're
Right.
just we're gonna push forward into some
Alrighty.
news.
Let's do it.
If I can find the news clip.
There we go.
Here is the fucking news.
All right, not a lot of news going on, but there's some news. So there was a bunch of earnings stuff that came out from PlayStation this past week. First off, according to GfK data published on GameIndustry.biz, PS5 accounted for 43% of the total console sales over the last 12 months, ending in October 2023 for the UK. That might just be globally. Then they said in the past 6 months, PS5 accounted for over half, 51% of all UK console sales. Over the same measures, the Xbox Series consoles had dropped from 26% market share to 23%, but the biggest decline had been the Switch, from 34% down to 25%.
That doesn't surprise me though, because the Switch has been out for a long time.
That's what I was just going to say. Is, I think it's actually surprising the Switch is still at 25%.
Right.
Who the hell's buying Switches these days?
Not me.
So along with this good news, PlayStation reported that its Q2, in terms of revenue, basically was a record-setting quarter. Also, PlayStation 5 hit 46 million consoles sold, and the revenue reported is in yen, so 954.1 billion yen, which is about 6.32 billion, and that was up 32% year over year. Operating profit was a little bit more modest. It was only up 16% year over year. But again, sometimes you can account for some of the R&D that they're doing, the new console variations that are coming out. So there's that. Warner Brothers, they are going to be transforming their biggest franchises into service games.
Oh God.
The news we all wanted to hear.
Right.
Our focus is on transforming our biggest franchises from largely console and PC-based 3-4 year release schedules to include more always-on gameplay through live services, multi-platform and free-to-play extensions, with the goal to have more players spending more time on more platforms. And they said ultimately we want to drive engagement and monetization of longer cycles and at higher levels. We have specific capabilities. We are currently under scale and see significant opportunity to generate greater post-purchase revenue. They want your DLC money, damn it. They want to sell you skins. So get ready, Harry Potter fans. You're going to get more Harry Potter skins.
Just what you want.
This isn't shocking to me. I think every company ideally wants games as services because, they're money-making games.
Right.
But I just don't think every company can make a games with service.
Right. Well, because look at COD. I'm sitting here laughing about it, but that's kind of the way they're doing this now, because now Call of Duty is technically a launcher app,
right?
With all of Call of Duty in it, and there's skins, and I bought them. I'm just as guilty as anyone else, so
Yeah,
the way it is.
But again, you have your Call of Duties. Halo's turned things around in a decent way, but for a while it was struggling. What other games and services really are out there? You've got your Fortnite, you've got your PUBG. Maybe the racing games, I suppose you can kind of consider them like games as services. I guess the Harry Potter game is technically a games as service, but it really was a single player game. It just had a big open world and the ability to do a lot with that. But I'm not a fan of this mentality.
Yeah, I'm like you. I don't think they all need to be that way. And what was it? They said PlayStation is kind of backing off because they said they were going to do that, but now they seem like maybe that's not such a good idea. So
yeah, that'll be interesting to see what happens with that, because I think Jim Ryan was really driving that. And obviously now that he is leaving maybe they're getting cold feet on that, or
Yeah.
or maybe it was somebody else driving that, and Jim Ryan was being forced to do it. I don't know.
Right.
It'll be interesting. Anyway, that's the news. Not a lot going on, Kim.
Oh, well, it is November, the holidays and everything else, and the big
It's true.
Activision deal's all settled now, so, we're not clamoring for that.
No.
Although after about, 3 months of that, I think we were all done clamoring for that and just put it over, but,
What we are clamoring for, Kim, is to hear the latest game releases.
aren't we all?
You know.
Alrighty. I went back a little bit because, of course, last week was Extra Life, so I picked up kind of the few that came out within the last couple of weeks, so that way if there was one that we
You're going
missed,
for extra credit.
I am. I probably need it. No. So, your new releases from the 6th to the 18th are, drumroll please, we have The Invincible for PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC on November 6th. Nickelodeon I already can't read. Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl 2 for the PS5, Xbox Series X and S, PS4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC, November 7th. Salt and Sacrifice for the Switch, November 7th as well. The Forest Cathedral, which I can't help but guess is probably some sort of horror game because, even though it sounds all pretty and nice, those things are freaky. So anyway, The Forest Cathedral for the PS5, November 7th. Risk of Rain returns. Switch and PC, November 8th. 9 Years of Shadows for the Switch, November 9th. Berserk Recharged. PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC, November 9th. One that I think there's probably a few that had looked forward to is Like a Dragon. Gaiden, The Man Who Erased His Name. PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC on November 9th. And I think it's on Game Pass.
I believe you're correct.
If I remember correctly. One also that a lot we're looking forward to that is also out is Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 for the PS5, Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, PC on November 10th. And Boomer Sarah bought this today, so she has it now as well. Hogwarts Legacy. Go look. We were just talking about Hogwarts. It's out for the Switch on November 14th. So there you go. I don't know. The Switch is great and all. It's kind of like Red Dead Redemption 2. I have a hard time thinking those will run well on the Switch, but I could be wrong. Invincible presents Atom Eve, not Atom, Atom, for the PC on November 14th. Whatever that is. Turok 3, Shadow of Oblivion, remastered for the PS5, Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC, November 14th. I never played Turok back in the day, so I don't know. Teardown, PS5, Xbox Series X and S, November 15th. I think it's got dinosaurs in it. That's pretty much all I know. So...
It does have dinosaurs in it. I never was overly fond of the Turok series, so.
Gotcha. I did play Dino Crisis. That also had dinosaurs in it. Scared the shit out of me more than a few places, but anyway. Nothing puts fear in you than having a T-Rex breathing down your neck as you're running through somewhere with like a little bitty flashlight. But anyway, I digress. The Last Faith for the PS5, Xbox Series X and S, PS4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC, November 15th. Assassin's Creed Nexus VR for the Quest, November 16th. Just what I wanted. Assassin's Creed game, VR. I'd puke all over myself. Flashback 2 for the PS5, Xbox Series X and S, PS4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC on November 16th. One that I'm sure Anthony would like to play because he's into all this is Naruto X Boruto Ultimate Ninja Storm Connections, PS5, Xbox Series X and S, PS4, Xbox One, Switch, November 17th. Persona 5 Tactica for the PS5, Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC, November 17th. And I believe last but certainly not least, we have Super Mario RPG for the Switch, November 17th. I don't know that I've played that one. I'd have to look into that one. Not that I've been playing a lot of Switch lately, but whatever. So there are your new releases, and there was quite a few. So
there you go.
Yeah.
No, busy past couple of weeks for new releases.
Right.
Plenty of games to be played, people.
There
I didn't cover in the news story. I just realized there was the news story that came out about Baldur's Gate 3 on the Series S.
Oh yeah.
And everybody was like, "Oh, the Series S is holding back the generation." Blah blah blah. Well, I guess Larian Studios came forward and said after spending time with the Series S, they actually were able to find about 38% boost in performance through
Right.
the SRAM in the Series S, which now they're going to be able to actually take to the other platforms and help their performance out as well. So it's just one of those funny things. You're just kind of like, okay, so
Yeah, all that time they bagged on the S and it was all its fault.
right.
and
And they
look.
were saying they couldn't do split screen co-op, and it was the S was holding everything back. And now I'm actually kind of wondering, does it come out with split screen co-op? That would be the funniest
Right.
thing ever. But yeah. So anyway, all right.
Yeah.
Shortest show. Look, Kim, next week,
hmm
if you're hanging out on a Wednesday, you could come hang out and play Halo like you did during Extra Life.
All right.
If you're a loser and you want to do racing sim stuff all the time, there's this guy Bongo that's saying he's got Bongo Bits Racing on YouTube. And he's a nice enough guy. He's a little quirky, a little weird. Don't leave your children with him alone in dark places. I'm just saying it's risky. Okay, that's mean spirited. It's not risky. He would never do anything.
no, if you
Anyway.
left your cat with him, that'd be.
He
that'd
would
be
kill your
risky.
cat. Absolutely would kill your cat. He would run it over, and then he'd be all polite about it and say, "Oh, I knocked it over."
Yeah, right.
Anyway, but yeah, Bongo's got his racing thing going on. I think tonight, as a matter of fact, you probably can catch it right now. We're gonna Skype call him, a WhatsApp call him,
Awesome.
and whatever else I can code to call him and interrupt his gaming. Anyway, beyond that, let's give some shout outs. I know we had Lord, I know we had Boomer in the chat. Let's just shout them out again, just because
Alrighty.
we're nice people.
Yeah. All right. Boomer and Lord, thanks for being in the chat. We had one other that I had to ban because he was pushing some sort of thing that, well, I don't know. It was a whole wall of text and I wasn't reading it, so I just banned his ass. So something about followers or something. I don't know. Didn't look. It looked shady.
Probably one
so
of those.
He's gone.
If you want to boost your followers, I'll give you a boost.
Yes.
Just pay me.
Yes.
Nah.
So thank you, Boomer. Thank you, Lord, for jumping in the chat and then coming back after I banned that guy. Because for a while there, it got quiet, and I thought maybe everybody was scared that I would ban them too. Not gonna lie, though, it
we
took
know
me a
you're
minute
gonna
to
ban
figure out,
Boomer one of these
so-
days. That's okay.
One of these days, right? It was funny because I'm sitting there trying to figure out how to ban this guy, and of course my little icon for the banning and all that's not next to his name. So I'm like, oh shit, where the fuck is it? I fixed it. It's gone. He's banned.
Oh.
So yeah, like I said, shout out to all my people that donated. Robin, I love you. I'm sorry I left you off the list. Yeah, I was working on 3 hours sleep. Forgive me. Other than that, I hope everybody's getting it. Good week. Tank Top, I hope your open house and everything goes well. I'm
you.
sure we'll talk about it before it happens, but hopefully it goes well. And yeah, that's it, I guess. Over to Tank Top.
All right. Well, shout out to my wife who's been working very hard on getting this house prepared, as is our friend Mina, who happens to be a realtor. That was the other side note to the story.
Well,
I
that's
didn't say anything.
helpful.
Yeah, very helpful.
That's helpful.
Shout out to the chat. We love you guys.
Mhm.
Thanks for hanging out, except for you bot types and people just being asshats.
Right.
Shout out to you, Kim. Thank you for jumping on and doing the short show.
Sure. Yeah.
Just to we'll come back around. We'll have a big show again, but for now, it is what it is.
Yeah. Stuff's going on, holidays, it's gonna be what it is.
Exactly. Shout out to Heineken. So I bought I did not buy these actually. So we were out at the Halloween. We went to a big haunted house. It was like 4 haunted houses in one back during Halloween, and we left, exited, and they take your picture when you're in there, and so you can get your picture, and so we were like, well, let's take a look and see what our picture looks like. So we do that, and we're looking at our picture, and I noticed off to the left, there's just stacks and stacks of this Heineken. This is non-alcoholic beer, 0.0 alcohol Heineken, and I'm like, what the hell are they doing? So they had a promo, and they're like, hey, if you agree to take a picture with your Heineken, we'll give you a case. Wow.
All right.
Why not? So not bad for a day when you just want something kind of cold beer-like, but not with the alcohol. The non-alcoholic thing, though, that is really mood killer.
Goofy.
Oh, well.
Yeah. As I sit here drinking my cocoa with whiskey and Bailey's in it, but that's all right. Shout out to Bailey's.
Yes. What kind of whiskey?
Not Fireball. It's a Tennessee Fire, Jack Daniels.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
There we go. All right. On that note,
Mhm.
we're gonna go. We're out of here.
See you, people. Thanks for showing up.
If I can find the outro, we'll
That
leave.
was me finding the ban button.
Thank you for listening to the Overseas Connection podcast. See you same time next week.